So will I read this fire
Yes,
intro?
let's get stuck in.
Yes.
Hey, 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 it's 8-Bit Popcorn. Welcome to the podcast. I am Zara, and I'm here with my buddy Ryan
Hello.
and my pal Joe.
Hi.
This week, we are looking back on WandaVision in its entirety. Thoughts, opinions, analysis, and what does this show mean for the wider Marvel comic universe? So I just watched the last episode 9 there, so it's very fresh in my mind.
5 minutes
Literally
ago.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a little bit longer.
I had a quick question, actually.
hmm
What is in higher standing, buddy or pal?
Ooh, old buddy, old pal.
Pal's like a Scottish thing,
Ooh,
a Scottish girl at uni, and she just kept calling
Yeah.
Joy and my pal, and I was like,
your wee
"Oh,
pal.
that's
Yeah.
cute."
Oh, yeah, I suppose, yeah,
Mhm.
but maybe buddy's a bit more like an Americanism. Old buddy, old pal, because that's
old
they're
buddy,
on
old
par
pal.
there.
It's a bit of both. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we
that
go.
works. That
They're
works.
equal.
Yes.
There we go.
They're equal.
Sorry.
Joe, you know you're my favorite.
Sorry,
I'll edit that out. Don't worry.
your insecurity just got
Oh,
the
of
best of
course.
you there, Ryan.
It
Of
did,
course, I
it did.
forgot that Ryan edits this, so that
Yeah.
won't make it in.
I have to listen to it back and then be upset
Of
a
course.
second time.
Yeah,
Oh,
just edit Zara out of the episode.
Just
Yeah,
cut her
just
out
completely.
entirely. Yeah.
just entirely from
She's
the whole
done.
podcast.
You're finished.
So, Zara, since you like literally just finished WandaVision, how you feeling about it? Like
Ooh,
10 minutes later.
there was a little bit of mosh at the end there, wasn't it?
It was a mosh. It was totes a
Was
mosh.
a mosh. Yeah, I sort of knew they'd do that. It was a lot. It took us on a journey for sure.
Well, we could start
And
with episode 9 and work our way just kind of back.
oh, we could,
You know,
yeah.
because the finale is the big thing everybody wanted to really get to. You know, at
Everyone
that
was so
point.
excited
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, it's where most of the story
Um,
happened, really.
It did. It was a very packed episode.
Yeah.
I really liked the family coming together in like a kind of harkening back to The Incredibles. Does anyone remember that bit where they all
Yes.
right?
Yes,
The
that hero
parents and
shot.
the two
Yeah.
kids and they stand and I just thought that was great.
Yep,
Yeah,
I love
that
The
was nice. I really
Incredibles.
like that. I love The Incredibles too. Yeah, it was awesome.
I think when The
And I
Incredibles
liked
came
the,
out, actually, sorry, it was one of those movies alongside Pirates of the Caribbean that I watched probably every single night for a month. The
Jesus.
Incredible. I don't know why. I just got hooked
Yeah.
on it.
Love The Incredibles.
I'm
I
a big
watched it over and
child.
over again as well.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I like the ship of Theseus explanation. I thought that was really cool. And the two visions were trying to figure out who was the real vision and who had more original material or who had the memories or who, what makes a person or what makes a thing what it is. I thought that was quite cool.
It was a very vision way to overcome,
Mm,
the obstacle.
exactly. Yeah. He's thinking, how can I make this guy think of, this in a different way or a different perspective? It was quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like that bit too. I thought it was different from the typical Marvel stupid stuff. I mean, we had that, throughout the episode. We had all the flash, flash, bang, bang stuff. But the Ship of Theseus thing was fun. It was nerdy. It was, I don't know. It was just vision, as you say. It was just a very vision way of solving the problem.
Would you say Vision is your favorite character
No,
because he seems to have a lot of intellect? No.
no.
He says that with a grimace.
He doesn't really I don't know, he doesn't have that much of a character, to be fair. I like how they built Wanda. I think they did a good job with her character. Elizabeth Olsen was really good as her.
Really, really good.
I mean, the material's fine, it's not like Shakespeare or anything, but she did really good with the material. Whenever she had to be emotional, she was very emotional. In the second last episode, I quite enjoyed her last wee moments with Vision's body. Whenever she was saying you're not in there, I was like, that's some good acting. She's actually very understated for this show. Everybody was quite overblown. Like, as much as I like Catherine Hahn as Agatha, I know it's a comic book show, but she was a bit comic booky.
She was a bit panto villain, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was like, oh no, they're not.
Mm,
Yeah,
mhm.
even though I really like her, I think she's a fun actress and
She's so
good.
versatile. Yeah, she's
It
really
just
cool.
didn't really fit. What do you call Randall Park as Agent Wu? one of the worst performances I've ever seen in a show.
lot of people
Like, I
love
mean, I don't
Agent
know.
Woo. A lot of people love that character.
Why?
They want to see him with his own
What?
spin-off series, solving crimes.
No, thank you. It was
I liked
really,
him.
really bad.
I like him. I like him as an actor. I think he's pretty good. He's all right. He's not,
No.
again, he's not a fantastic actor, but I really like him. I thought he was good.
Yeah.
Nice, playful character.
Yeah, Kat Dennings as a, oh God, what do you call her? Darcy. Really
I'm
didn't
not a
like
big
her
fan
in
of her.
Thor,
No,
but
she
I
annoys
actually
me.
kind of enjoyed her in this show, though. I was like, okay,
Ooh,
bring some
interesting.
comedy to it.
I'm with Ryan on this one. I didn't really.
I will agree with Joe, to be fair. Actually, she was more
Yeah.
likable. Definitely.
Mm.
But
At Thor,
Yeah.
she was
generally, yes, as
very
an
unlikable.
actor, I don't find her funny. She's just one of these people that I
No.
do not find funny at all.
Yeah,
Nah.
there's something about her that she's sort of trying to.
But she had a very
I mean,
small
she's trying
part.
to be
So
Yeah,
goofy or
Marvel
nerdy
is
or-
not funny. Marvel
Mm.
cannot do humor.
Marvel
Marvel is so bad
can
at
do
humor.
humor. Marvel can do humor.
I
I
heavily
think
disagree
so.
with that.
I think it can do visual humor. I think it can do visual humor quite well, but sometimes the dialogue that they try to make
Yeah.
comedic, it just kind of flops.
I mean, it's not a comedy, but I do think they've gotten quite good at sprinkling in humor. Sometimes they go too far. Like Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth character, Thor, he's changed a lot from Thor and
Mhm.
Thor Ragnarok. His character has changed
Mhm.
too much. But you know, they comedy. I think the right amount of comedy was either with Iron Man, the character, or even in Black Panther. I thought they had a good amount of comedy sprinkled throughout that.
Oh no.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Black Panther. I mean, Black Panther, it was a fun movie and all, but Andy Serkis, just get out of my movies, please.
Oh no, Andy Serkis
Yeah.
is a good actor. He's a very established actor. He's worked very hard to get where he is.
He's an exuberant actor, shall we say.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
goes 150 when he should be going 100.
I have an
Um,
innate fear of the South African accent, so I didn't like him in that either.
Innate
But that's just my
fear.
personal aversion to that.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but overall, I enjoyed it much more than the typical Marvel fare, to be honest.
My biggest
But,
concern
yeah.
was after Thanos and Endgame, how do you continue to ramp up? You know, that you can't slow down, but yet
Mm.
Mm.
they've been able to do that successfully. You know, with Spider-Man, they're kind of smaller, more self-contained stories and smaller villains, and they've done it again with WandaVision, where it's more a story about, you know, somebody just stricken with grief and loneliness and loss and love and all those kind of emotions. And then I'm actually enjoying this next phase a little bit more than I actually thought that I would.
Yeah, I wasn't excited for the show at all. I had like zero expectations for it, but it met and exceeded those expectations. So,
Well, it's
Mm.
interesting. that-
bar low, it helped.
yeah,
It.
yes. Well, the problem was people are actually saying that because of their release schedule, so they released it obviously weekly as opposed to all at once, which is
Mhm.
you know the difference I suppose of Disney Plus and Netflix, is that it gave people time to speculate.
Yeah,
Because they were releasing it weekly, then it gave people too much time, they're saying, to
Yeah.
form their own expectations and opinions. And a lot of people felt that the finale fell very short of that.
Mm.
So there's a group that's very unhappy, but generally I'd say it's very
Mhm.
successful. Because on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at 91%, and IMDb, it's sitting at 8.2. So even at that,
Mm.
it still did very, very well.
I suppose we're so used to now just being able to access everything at once, and it's kind of saturated almost.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I thought you were actually going to say that people having time in between made it more popular because people found that being able to chat about it week to week and everyone being at the same pace
Well, we have
was sort of
discussed
a
that
more
before. Yeah,
communal
like that,
thing.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is, I think, why Disney decided to, or Marvel or whatever, that's why they decided to release it week on week, because it does create those discussion points on the internet, because there
Yeah.
was so many Easter eggs. Yeah, and there was so much
Yeah.
knowledge that was kind of going on in the background, I suppose. But then for someone like
Mm.
me that doesn't read the comic books, I can understand why some people would feel very out of their depth, I suppose, because
Yeah.
Mm.
they felt like they had a lot of research to do in order to catch up.
I mean, they did give everybody blue balls with certain things.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
They really edged that Quicksilver thing, didn't they? I mean,
I
that
didn't
was
like the
annoying.
swap. I didn't like the swap. Well, I don't think anybody did, but I
Yeah.
didn't like
No.
the swap to the.
Evan Peters.
Yes, I didn't like that. I mean, I like him, but I didn't
Yeah.
like that swap.
No, I mean it was a bit of an odd swap because you were like, oh, are they bringing in the Fox's X-Men?
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna make a boner joke, so it's fine.
Yeah, he was Ralph. Everybody was speculating that
Yeah.
maybe was it Mephisto was Ralph, but he
Mhm.
was in fact Ralph.
No, I quite liked seeing him at the door rather than Aaron Taylor Johnson. I didn't
I
really.
prefer him to Aaron Taylor
Oh,
Johnson.
really?
In
Oh,
general,
yeah, yeah.
Evan Peters is cool, and he was a good Quicksilver in the Fox Avengers,
But in terms of mixing
Fox X-Men,
universes,
sorry. Yeah, in terms of mixing universes, you're like,
yeah,
oh, is it going to happen? No, thank you, Marvel.
it's like a little in joke. Marvel are like, ha ha ha,
Yeah,
right? And everyone's
I
like,
mean, it's just a
oh,
bit
okay, cool,
odd,
yeah.
and I do think that you're right in that Marvel or Disney or Marsney, we'll call them. They purposely released it, and I think they purposely put a lot of Easter eggs in it and did this kind of thing so people would get talking about it, and then do the typical Marvel thing or Marsney thing, and just go, "Oh, well, you were the one that jumped to conclusions, weren't you?
Oh,
We didn't say
that's
nothing."
nasty.
You can't really
You
be angry
nasty.
with them. Yeah. I really enjoyed the ending because you knew from one of the earlier episodes that if Vision left the Hex, that obviously then
Right.
he's going to perish, he's going to die. So when you started learning that obviously at some point Wanda's going to have to just bring the entire house down and just let everybody go and open up the doors and just do away with the Hex, you knew it was something that was probably inevitable, that he was going to die, and the children too. So yes, like it was emotional. She tucking the kids in and saying goodnight and saying thank you for choosing me as your mother. Like it was emotional. It does tug on the heartstrings. And knowing that Vision was going to disappear again was also very sad. But I think they kind of robbed like the full potential of those moments with Wanda saying, something along the lines of, I'll probably see you again, or like they kind of alluded to the fact that he'll probably be back.
We kind of knew that anyway. Yeah.
Yes, but it kind of robs nearly the full emotion of the scene because it's not really a goodbye. It's just goodbye for now, and we will see you again in a different movie.
I almost thought that was sadder though.
Did you?
Yeah, like we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, I thought that was sadder in a way because it was like they were holding on to false hope. They were like, bye. Because if they fully said bye and they didn't ever think they were going to see each other again, you know what I mean?
The fact Did the children know?
Maybe it isn't bye. Maybe it's hello, It was sadder.
Did the children?
No, they didn't.
You don't think
it
so?
was
Which
a Donnie Darko, I'm going to turn over and go to sleep.
I thought that was very sad. Like I did question, do they know that they're about to die?
It was
or
sad,
fade or whatever you're going to call it?
No, but also they won't realize. They
won't realize.
They'll just be pixels.
Did you watch both post-credit scenes? Post-credit scenes?
Now wait. Because I think I missed one.
Well,
I saw the one in 9.
Yes, there's 2.
She went into the theater. Oh, what was the one I missed? I hate
one
this.
After that is the Wanda has gone off to some snowy mountain retreat, and she's in this little cabin.
Oh, here. Oh, no, I've completely missed that.
Yeah, and then so you see a Wanda walking around, and she's filling her cup with, I don't know, tea or coffee or whatever. But then the camera heads on into the bedroom, and Wanda is hovering with this book of, well, what do you call that?
The Book of the Dead, I think.
Book of the Dead or something along those lines. She's in there.
Black magic book or whatever.
Doing magic, and she's reading through the book, and she can hear her children calling out her name for help.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to black.
Oh.
So there's
Joe, is Ryan lying, or is this actually what happened?
No,
or is he just making this up?
Yep,
Wanda was doing a Dr. Manhattan and cloning herself and whatnot.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Are we sure it's not Agnes? I'm scared Agnes is just going to be around every corner, and she really freaked me out.
She'll be back though. Agnes, I believe, will be back, which again I look forward to. But they are saying that they use the whole, it's not the Book of the Dead, but it's something along them lines. But they've used that idea to set up the premise for the Doctor Strange, the second one.
The multiverse one.
The multiverse of madness.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they think it's going to be chaos magic happening across multiple universes, which is maybe where the other Spider-Man come into play, and some hell, demonic realm, and other villains. So there's going to be some serious level shit going on. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So did Wanda not know that she was Scarlet Witch?
No. She had no idea that she was using magic. She thought it was
we knew,
Infinity Stone.
Didn't we? Watching earlier on.
Yeah, because we call her Scarlet Witch as a character.
Was she maybe never referred to as Scarlet Witch?
I don't think so, no.
She wasn't, because then whenever Agnes said, did you have a nickname? She was like, no, I was always just Wanda. And I was like, wait, you're Scarlet. Oh, okay, wait.
I think Wu kind of gave a nod to the audience at some point when he was talking to Haywood. because he was saying something like that Scarlet Witch, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh, but that's never actually really been. She's never really been called that before," or something to the effect of. I think it was a slight nod to the audience to say, "She, it was we call her that. She's never officially been called that." So
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
can't
yeah,
think of the
just
exact
checking.
example, but I think it was in there somewhere.
And so did she get her? Did she get her abilities? No, she always have her abilities, or did she get them when she touched the
She
stone in the
always
flashback?
had certain level of abilities, but then when she touched the Mind Stone, that just heightened them exponentially, just
Right.
to new levels, with which then she became the Scarlet Witch. And then obviously she's absorbed the powers of Agatha. She already had all the powers of her sisters, so now Scarlet Witch is just beyond badass,
Even
in
more powerful.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the Book of the Dead. People are going to be pissed off that we keep calling it that. I think but people are going to be.
Is it the Book of the Dead? I think
I
it
don't
is
think
the
it's
Book
the
of
Book of the
Dead.
Dead. I'm pretty sure it's not. Google it for me. But I think
What is it
the book
called?
foretells that she is to destroy the world.
Oh,
That is her
yes.
role. So there you go.
Thanos 2.0. Well, not really.
Well, they are drawing comparisons to Thanos because
Book of the Damned. There we
Book of
go.
the Damned. Okay, I thought I
There we
heard it being
go.
called something else. But there you go.
Well, hopefully people mishear it and just think we said damn the whole time.
Yeah.
We'll each say damned, and I'll just edit it in every time.
Yeah. Damned.
Damned.
Yeah. Damned.
Oh, yours was good, Joe.
Yeah, I think people are
Damned.
comparing the finales of each phase, because where Thanos was all about order, wanting order, the next phase is going to be all about chaos magic and the multiverse of madness and tearing through timelines, and so it's all going to be chaos.
Mm,
So
It's gonna be fun.
interesting. It is. I really enjoyed WandaVision. I quite liked it. I was looking forward to it, and then I didn't really know what to expect with all the black and white 60s stuff. I thought that was really cool. And then
I
when we were
loved
doing
it.
the eras thing, yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Kept it fresh,
did, yeah.
constantly changing
Yeah.
color, changing aspect
Aspect
ratios,
ratio.
and I really
love that.
enjoyed the new opening credit scenes. There was the one that was very was it the 90s, kind of early 2000s? You had that sort of like
The
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
the kids
that
are
was
talking to
awesome.
the camera, and it was
Yeah,
constantly
that was really
Wanda,
cool.
Wanda flashing up on everything. I thought it was really cool.
awesome.
And then you had actually seen it in one of the episodes that where Wanda's dad had the case full of VHS tapes. That
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle was one of the VHSs sitting in the.
And so was Bewitched.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
so-
It was like all the different eras.
Mhm.
And even the fact that sitcoms followed her so much through her life, I thought that was both really cool and really sad. Just thought, oh, she's created this world from all of these other memories and
It was
all of
just a
these kind of
television show within a
happier
television
times.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot as well. Those flashbacks. Ooh,
I think that there's been some television shows or movies though that have been postponed, haven't there? Because the Black Widow isn't out yet, is it?
It was
no,
meant
no,
to
it's not out yet.
Yeah,
no.
and then Falcon and the Winter,
Yeah.
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they've been put back. The Eternals hasn't released, and Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, I think I pronounced that right. That's not out yet. So I think it's kind of jumped 4 different shows and jumped straight to maybe WandaVision.
It's kind of interesting that they've done that. Yeah.
Yeah. In a nutshell, well, I mean, blame COVID,
Yeah.
but in a nutshell, I think that I wasn't interested at all in Marvel. But yeah, seeing WandaVision makes me really excited for Doctor Strange. And yes, Black Widow. I do want to see Black Widow.
So what, if you could, let's do a favorite and least favorite. What was your favorite thing about the thing? What was your least favorite thing about the thing?
ooh. My favorite thing about the thing was all of the beautiful tropes and all of the
Well, it was
my
different
brain
from
just went
Marvel.
to sleep, sorry.
Like, you're familiar with Marvel, you know how it's shot,
Yeah.
you know their style of comedy and humor.
Mm.
And with WandaVision, they were jumping across different timelines, different decades, so stylistically, visually, it looked different. And then the humor matched that. And then the opening credits matched that. And I think they did really well. They kind of jumped back and forth between, their letterbox aspect ratio in the outside world and their 4:3 aspect ratio in Wanda's false reality.
Mm.
That's your favorite point.
Yeah,
I
that was really cool. That was, yeah, thank you, Ryan. That was
Yeah.
it, because my brain just shut off. I don't know what happened. I think I need to get the Mind Stone back. But
Hey,
anyway,
Zara, let me tell you what your favorite thing was.
Ryan like pushed into my head like in vision and just went, "Whirr, this is what you wanted to say. Thanks."
Yeah.
But yeah, all the tropes and yeah, as you said, like how they kind of matched the dialogue to each era and the clothes and the sets and everything. I thought that was really, there was a lot of attention to detail, and it seemed like a lot of fun to work on the show. It just seemed like it would have been,
Yeah.
every episode a new decade and looking at all the tropes.
I think next week, I think I heard that they are releasing like a behind the scenes episode.
Ooh,
So if you're
I
saying
will
that it looked
await
like it was
that.
fun to be on the show, then you could watch the behind the scenes. Yeah. I may be talking complete shit. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I came across
Oh,
that.
see if it doesn't come out now, I'll be so disappointed. You'll have to make one.
I'll make it. Yeah.
Sounds really good.
Disney, I've got this idea for you. Let's just do it behind the
We
scenes.
have to do this. I've told Zara.
Quentin Tarantino to film WandaVision.
Oh my
no.
gosh.
No, I think that's probably, I would, there was a lot that I did enjoy. As I say, same as Zara, I just really liked the aesthetic of it. Visually, I just thought it was very interesting. I love jumping through the eras, just kept it fresh for me. The performances of Vision and Wanda I thought were very good, especially Catherine Hahn's Agatha. I thought she was fantastic. I have enjoyed her style of humor in movies in the past, but I think this, for me, really kind of put her on the map. And I was really glad to see someone like that get a big role. Unfortunately, I don't think Marvel did a very good job at hiding the fact that she was, you could argue, the main villain or not, because depending whether or not you're going to be looking at Wanda as the main villain, but they didn't do a very good job at keeping the fact that she was a villain a secret. So by the time it was revealed, it was kind of a letdown because you're like, yeah, I knew that already.
Yeah, there were good things that we had discussed in our first episode about WandaVision that came to fruition. And there were a few things that we were kind of they were yet to be revealed, I suppose. But yeah, I think probably my least favorite thing about it was the fact that from episode 4 onwards, it was kind of looking at the real world and all of the questions were answered, which I don't know. There was something about, it was like the first 3 episodes, there were so many,
because it was so different.
What's going on, speculation. Yeah, and we had a lot to,
I don't think they could have kept that up, though. I don't think they could have kept that up. I know a lot of people that complain saying after 1 episode and the second even, it was like, oh, I can't be bothered with this shit if this is the way they're going.
Right. A lot of people were the opposite, were annoyed with all the black and white stuff.
Why are they doing it in black and white? This is crap. Doesn't make sense. It's not funny.
There's all the MCU stuff.
Marvel. Yeah. And if you stick with it.
Whereas when that happened for me, I was like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah. It became much less interesting when it became clearly Marvel. I think.
But I do applaud the fact that they did something very different than what I was expecting. Even going into episode 1, I had no idea that that's the direction they were taking with it. So I was pleasantly surprised.
That was good.
I think I must have seen some kind of teaser trailer or something. But yeah,
I did.
As you say, a lot of surprises. Joe, what about you?
Oh, well, I have to say my favorite thing, I liked the fact that they took time to be emotional at times throughout the show. I mean, especially in the last 2 episodes.
What was your favorite emotion moment?
Well, I kind of said it was whenever she had her hand over Vision's head and she was saying, you're not there anymore. I thought that was a really, really nice wee moment. I like the whole goodbye that they had as well. That was fun. And I kind of, like you were saying, Zara, even the fact that they were saying maybe we'll see each other again. I think it kind of made it a bit more tragic because it's 2 people that are just not letting go of each other, even though we, the audience, as a dramatic irony kind of thing, know that Vision is going to pop up again. Yeah, I like the fact that they did take time to be emotional, because that is one of my biggest complaints about Marvel and Disney, is that unlike in the 90s, where, like Simba was crying over his dead dad and everything, and they made children cry, they traumatized children left, right, and center. That was a good time to be alive. They're not like that anymore. They don't let people cry or be emotional or let their stories mean something. I like the fact that the whole story was just centered around her grief. That was a good theme for the show. Yeah. My least favorite thing was in the last episode, which is whenever we had all the emotional moments, everything was cool, it was kind of building to something, or at least, everything it was, what do you call that? We're in our, it's not diminuendo, but it's...
denouement.
denouement. Thank you.
Hey, baby.
I was in a different language there, but and we were in the middle of the denouement, and Wanda was walking through the town, after everything had shut down, and she was going over to what do you call it, Monica Rambeau.
Monica.
Yeah, what a stupid name, but anyway. She was going over to Monica, and Monica was like, "Oh, they'll never know what you sacrificed for them." And she was like, "Oh, that doesn't change how they're going to feel about me or whatever." And you're going, "No, girl. I mean, let's look at this objectively. You took a town hostage, you created a fake family for yourself, and that's what you had to give up. You had to give up a fake life. Really, consequentially, that is not you paying for something. We as an audience, we feel sorry for Wanda. That's a good thing. We are let in her grief. But I would have tweaked the dialogue there just to say something like, sorry that you had to go through all that, Wanda. But you're going to have to come in and pay for what you've done.
I nearly thought she was going to surrender herself, not just fuck off and be like, bye.
Yeah. But then, I would have had her be like, "No, girl, you really think you can hold me? No, I think I'll just go learn my powers. Thank you." And be a bit more villainous at the end.
Yeah.
I just feel like there was no emotional consequence there. There was no not emotional, logical consequence.
Right.
She was let off completely.
How do you contain something like that?
Well, exactly.
Somebody that has that much power, you literally can do nothing.
Yeah. That's where you need to voluntarily give yourself over.
Yeah.
And that's where the conflict would have come in with her not giving herself over, going, "No, I'm going to learn this chaos magic."
Now that she believes that, she may still be able to bring back Vision or her children, that's going to be her sole goal. So
yeah,
she'll never want to bring herself.
It just would have been interesting her just going, "Fuck you, sword, bye."
Yeah,
I'm going to go
that would have been more
create my own world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I really like the way
Marvel,
Monica earlier on give me a job. I like the way Monica earlier on is used as a way to almost empathize with Wanda, because she's been in there. She knows what she's feeling, thinking, all of those things.
Yeah,
I really liked how she sort of, she explains to everybody, no, this is how she's feeling, I thought that was a good sort of way to use that character. Is she okay? Has anyone checked if because she was
Monica,
buzzing like a TV.
You good?
You good, girl?
I think she is a mutant.
No,
I think that
she
Wanda
is
has created
apparently
mutants.
a mutant, because a mutant has to be born.
Oh,
a mutant is something that you're changed into.
Oh, she's created.
Yeah. So she is created.
Kind of like Spider-Man.
I've never heard that second word before.
Either did I before today.
Sounds
apparently
okay.
she's a mutant. But I'm wondering when is it the Skrulls or Skrills that came down, and is it the post-credit scene in the cinema that you saw?
Oh,
Skrull.
yeah.
Yes, is that them kind of introducing her to the fact that she may then now finally be able to travel halfway across the galaxy, the universe, and meet Captain Marvel like she said she wanted to, and meet her halfway. I kind of feel like this is where she may come into play in the next Captain Marvel movie.
Because she was based in space, wasn't she, before she was quote unquote grounded? Like that was the whole. Was Monica before the what are we calling it when half the world turned to dust? What's that called?
The blip.
The blip. So before the blip, I think she was she posted in space, or am I just writing?
No, I think she was posted in space.
Here? I don't know.
No, sorry.
She was in hospital
I think when she was in
before
hospital, yes, but then Haywood grounded her and said, "You're grounded. No orbital missions.
Oh, okay.
You're grounded." So maybe prior to that, you're probably right. Maybe she was in space. Yeah,
she could have been. I don't know. So then there was something about them looking up and being like, "Oh, she's going." I thought that was maybe a callback to that, but I could just be writing.
No doubt.
Yeah, well, she's going now, so she's going to be in space at some stage, guys.
yeah.
She got lightning powers.
She certainly does.
Yeah. I wonder if she's going to be the new Thor.
She can't be, though. They've already casted the new Thor.
Who?
Have they?
Yeah. Natalie Portman.
She's meant to be for one film.
Well, if they carry through on that storyline, but,
Is she not meant to be taking over from Chris Hemsworth moving forward?
I mean, that is in the comics, that his girlfriend or wife or whatever takes over as Thor, but...
Yeah, because you've got Thor 4, Love and Thunder coming out, and I'm pretty certain that I'm sure Chris Hemsworth will be in it, but I'm pretty certain that Natalie Portman's character takes over as Thor.
I thought you had to be born a Thor. Can you just get
I
Thor
don't know.
powers?
So there was
You
a
can be
whole
worthy.
big kick up about this about a year or so
Be
ago.
worthy.
That Natalie Portman, I think she was on stage even at one point, wielding Thor's hammer as a huge nod to say, "I am the next Thor," and
I
the
did hear
Almighty
that.
Thor.
Yeah.
It's not just Thor; it's the Almighty Thor.
The
Oh
Almighty.
wow.
So I think she's taking it forward.
Interesting.
go.
That'll be pretty cool.
So Endgame's budget was approximately $350 million. How much do you think it cost per episode or collectively for WandaVision?
Was it, I don't know, 20 million an episode?
Not bad.
wow.
Not bad.
Oh,
What are you going to say, Zara?
5 million.
Okay, Zara got
episode.
it.
Just
25.
because
25
you
million
set
an
that up for me,
episode.
Joe. To be honest,
I thought, I know.
I set it up for you.
I thought that was quite a lot. 25 million an episode. So I think their whole budget was about $255 million. So it's just shy of 100 million that it cost, the extra 100 million that it would have cost to make Endgame.
Yeah. I
Did
mean,
it
I
feel
doubt that.
on the same scale?
No, well, I doubt that all the budget went to each episode equally. I'd say most of the budget went to these last couple of
probably not.
episodes.
I would imagine the first episode was a lot cheaper to make than the ninth episode.
well,
that
exactly. If you
was
think
maybe
of all
twice
the
as
people,
long and so much
everyone
more.
was in the last one. If you think about
But
it,
still,
so yeah.
when you think about the sheer amount of CGI and effects that took place in Endgame from scene to scene.
Well, there was a lot of CGI here as well. I mean, yeah, because it wasn't front and center. I mean, they did have to create an entire digital landscape for like Vision, like fighting and flying over. They had to create those big walls and stuff.
I don't feel like it was
models of
Endgame in scale.
Vision. Well, no, it wasn't Endgame in scale, but Endgame looked like shit. So,
wow.
But if you think about the whole town, and I know that they obviously built a lot of stuff, and they had like the different. They had a theater, and they had the insides of everywhere, but also the outside, and they had
they had to model it,
all
then
of the
remodel
houses.
it.
Yeah, and they had each era had to be a different
that's a fair point.
set,
I did
and
think that they had to keep
all of the
redressing
costumes.
sets.
Yeah. And think about how many different outfits Wanda had and different wigs, and they probably
And
cost like $1 million on their own.
And every time Vision was on screen, I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes, he looks different because it's not his full thing. That he has like motion trackers and stuff on his face. So they have to do like facial, basically not facial replacement, but they have to do facial tracking for every time he looks like Vision. So
yeah, there was a lot of stuff. No, definitely the scale of like even the town and stuff makes me think that it was a big budget to just get all of that stuff in place.
Yeah, I think it looked pretty good, for a TV show, especially if it did have the budget or less than the budget, of Endgame, yet it was so much longer and still looked pretty good in each episode. There were only a few instances, it was longer shots, and whenever the two visions were interacting, I was like, ooh, physics do not exist here, clearly. Where I started like really seeing the cracks in the CG, but that's kind of normal for CG anyway, especially Marvel.
Actually, really, but just as you said that, I kind of felt like in the episode 9, I suppose, Joe, you'll have seen the post-credit scene then where the camera's, it's like a drone. It's a very long shot just coming straight into the cabin, through the front door of the cabin on the mountains. But I kind of felt like the camera just kept dipping every so often. And I felt like, is this like, it just looked like something, if I was filming on a gimbal and hit a little bump and the camera dipped, you would ignore it. But on that level, I felt like there should have been one long, smooth transition.
I saw that as well. I feel like it was sped up. I feel like, you wouldn't have noticed as much if it wasn't sped up, but I feel like they looked at that scene and went, oh, fuck, it's too long. The tracking shot is too long.
Well, maybe
and then
start closer.
And it just went,
I thought that looks like a camera dip, but this is all CGI. This is all computer generated.
Yeah. Unless it was drone footage and
could have been.
For some reason they didn't motion
really
correct it. Yeah.
Weird. Of all the things to complain about, to sit and say the camera looked like it dipped. It seems a bit pathetic, but
it did. Yeah.
But
I thought that too. I was like, this is a really big budget show. Why did you not motion correct this fucking camera movement? Forgot about that. Yeah.
Disney, fix your shit.
Fix your shit.
Hire me to fix your writing. Hire Ryan to fix your camera.
Yes.
Hire Zara just
because
for inclusion.
I'll do script supervising. I'll do continuity.
Zara
on that. Oh my god, imagine doing continuity on that.
I'll write. You do the continuity.
What year are we today? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be a nightmare.
What year are we today?
I'm just thinking even of, like even whenever the things like the hex was extended and then like taken back in, and how all of the feds were like created the fun fair and the circus and the air balloons and stuff. That was wild. It was so cool. That was
really
one of
good
my
CG,
favorite
yeah.
bits actually. Yeah, and then
Pretty
it was
good,
like the
shot
circus.
matching.
Even something as simple as watching the Hex, go past a bunch of cars, or go past a sign, or go past a building, and just seeing it instantly wipe into something totally different. But imagine, yes,
Yeah.
like you're saying, Joe, that's probably where a lot of their budget went, because I couldn't imagine that was easy.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like flashy, like crazy special effects where it's like, ooh, this planet's exploding, but still pretty complex stuff. Here's a question. Here's a fun little question.
Ooh.
If you, now you can pick any era that, WandaVision existed in or whatever show that it existed in. If you were in the Hex, what do you think you would turn into, or what kind of character would you be?
I have a thing for the 60s, the aesthetic of the 60s. So I think I would like to go back to the 1960s. And I don't know, it just looks nice and sunny and everybody looks happy. So I said probably want to be like a door-to-door salesman or a milkman or something, just so I can walk around in the sun, not give a shit, meet people. I know that's really boring.
You would be like you'd be like the guy that you'd always like say hello to in the morning.
And the stories of the milkman coming around. So, there's yes,
baby.
there we go.
Is that your baby?
I'd be walking around the aisle.
Oh, baby.
And you hear the just clinking of the milk bottles.
I like your perception.
All the
of
women
yourself,
being
Ryan.
like, "Ooh," and like fanning themselves.
That just reminds me of the scene from Father Ted, where Dougal takes on the role as milkman, and he's walking around, and the women are just showing up half naked. It's so funny. That would be me. I would be Father Dougal in the 1960s.
That would be you, right?
That's me.
Well, I kind of want to pick 90s just because, it's our little nostalgic childhood. I kind of want to be like a cool skater girl or something. I don't know.
I got like Jingo Jeans, Avril Lavigne loving.
Yeah,
You want to live
like
in
that.
Malcolm in the Middle with Bryan Cranston is what you want.
Pretty much. Yeah, something like that. Or I don't know, maybe I would probably be like a gypsy fortune teller or like some kind of hippie. I'd probably own like a shop that sold like herbal crystals. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like how I'm perceived. That's a difficult one to like come outside of yourself and like look at yourself from other people's perspective. What would you be, Joe?
I don't know. I feel like I'd be like the local crazy
Drunk.
homeless person. Yeah. Just like,
Spouting words of wisdom, but
bothering
nobody
people.
believes you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm the one who's
You
like
bother
predicting
people?
doom.
What?
You like prophesizing.
Yeah, I'd be the one holding the sign like the end is nigh. I think that would be my role. That's
And the
probably
end
like a
would
Malcolm in the
actually be
Middle
nigh.
kind of character. Yeah.
You need to be
I'd be
working
right
at the
this time.
cinema, selling tickets at the cinema. People will
Yeah.
come and say, "What's a good movie to watch?" And you could just snuff at everything.
Not Citizen Kane.
Oh
It's shit.
gosh, I second that. Oh, years of my life wasted.
Yeah.
I feel like Joe. I feel like you would be lots of different characters all the time. So like
Oh,
you'd
I'd
be
be like a multi-role kind of character.
yeah, you'd be like selling
Ooh.
like popcorn, and then you'd be like in the local neighborhood shop, like
I
doing
like
it.
that
Yeah,
idea.
I feel like you'd be, and then people would be like, "Wait, don't I know you from?" And then it would be like, "No, you never saw
Oh.
me," or something like
Joe would be
mysterious
the
like
next
that.
door
You know
neighbor,
who?
gossiping
Who?
all the
And then,
time
like, fade out.
across the fence. That's what Joe would be.
Mm.
You know what I heard about Wanda? Her tatas are not real.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. And then I go over and find out.
You come out of my house like buttoning up your jacket. And everybody's like, "What?"
And I skate past, and I'm like, "What's going on there?"
You just like hit a bump, you fly off your skateboard, and then there we go.
Yeah.
That's just a scene unto itself.
A lot of comedy there. Yeah.
The Dark Hold. That's what I meant. It's referred to as the Dark Hold, the
Oh.
book.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, Darkhold. Yeah, but
Oh.
in this, it's called like the Book of the Damned. I don't
Okay.
know.
All
It
right.
was some like fucking mummy shit, I was thinking of like the Book of the Dead from the Mummy. What a movie. What a movie.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
film.
Brendan Fraser.
I love Brendan Fraser. Universal.
I love Brendan Fraser
yeah.
too.
I love Universal. The Mummy is one of my favorite rides at Universal.
Oh, it was so
So
good. It was
so
really good.
I just love
Like
his
that
little
fire
bit
was
on-
hot as fuck.
Oh, it was.
That was real.
That's really scary.
It was
shit.
real fire.
Uh-huh.
I remember going, oh, Jesus.
So here's a question, a last question I have.
Okay.
If you had the power to do what Wanda did, to bring somebody back, maybe not necessarily enslave an entire community, but would you do it? That's a question
thinking
I've
about
seen
this.
circulating the internet. If you had the option to, would you have done the same? I mean, if you could.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody in my life or out of my life, I suppose you could say, that's dead that I would bring back at the minute.
Nobody you liked enough.
You can all stay dead for what I care. But there are certain people, yeah, I would, I'd probably do it. And I'd probably enslave an entire town to do it.
You
Save the
definitely
entire
would,
world to do it.
for sure.
Yeah. You can all live in my happy world. It's fine.
I'm struggling with the concept of like that grief kind of shapes you, and you're probably stronger for going through it. But yeah, it is. It's tough. If it was, I mean, I've only really had like, I guess, grandparents pass away, and so I guess it was sort of their
It's hard to
time
put
more in a
yourself in that
way. And
situation, yeah.
yeah, it is, isn't it? I
yeah,
mean,
same
I
for
would
me. Like, I
love
don't
to
have
have them
anybody.
back, and just be able to chat to them and just kind of, but I guess I've already like gone through that and kind of
Mhm.
let them go in a
Yeah.
way. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Perhaps if it was a different situation, if it was more someone before their time, that kind of
Yeah, if they were like killed
real
right in front of you,
tragedy.
like Vision was.
Yeah, exactly. I think Wanda had more of a justification.
Could she not have just found an abandoned village or just an area and set up their own little life and just had this little self-contained world right there where they didn't have to
I actually thought,
to enslave
yeah,
people?
they didn't
where
have to hurt anyone.
and
I
they
thought
could have
that's
just
what she was
said,
going to do. I
this
thought,
is all a fabric of my imagination. This, you did die.
yeah,
Just be open and honest and say, but we can't leave because if you do. Although that being said, why couldn't you just cast the sort of hex across the world? Not in cap, don't enslave anybody. It just
mhm.
has this big thing around the world. Then Vision could still be there.
Hmm.
Is
What
that
I thought she
doable?
was going to do was just have the house. So just the foundations of the house, the wall, the boundary of their house was just
Mhm.
going to be the hex, and they would still have their kids and Vision and her. And
But they could go to the countryside and have created a
but then is
hex
that holding Wanda
5 miles
back?
long.
Hmm.
Is that stopping her from reaching her full potential and living her life?
Well,
And
she can still leave and come back and leave and come back.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. But then
But
they
yeah,
can't.
She
I
needs
guess.
to encase Vision in a hex that just outlines his entire body. And then he can
Right.
travel the world in his own mobile portable hex.
It's
Yeah.
sorted.
Well, I think it was that the hex initially. That's what it was. It was changing the town and stuff, and for
Mhm.
her to undo it and like redo it on Vision, it wouldn't be the same Vision. It would be all different. She couldn't do it to that particular Vision. He had to die for that spell to end.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a complicated topic. Grief is a complicated topic. I don't think I've properly experienced it, to that degree that Wanda has. So I can't really say.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, I
fair.
guess. Yeah. What about you, Ryan? Would you be creating a little
I don't
town?
know. Same as Joe, I've never gone to that level of grief. I had lost a granny about a year ago or so, and I was upset because I just started getting close to her, making more of an effort, realizing she was sort of on her way out. But I don't know. It's not as if I've ever had the love of my life die.
Die.
I would imagine if you had the power to bring them back almost immediately, I probably would. I probably would think, fuck it. Although I don't agree with obviously enslaving people. I think that was too far, but there you go.
I mean, it kind of opens up. I was listening to, it was like a philosophy podcast thing, and it was talking about empathy, and it was saying that empathy is always promoted as such like a good thing, and you should be empathetic to people. And I think in general you should be very empathetic to people, but when that empathy is only extended to a very certain number of people in your life, it can become really, really toxic. Or toxic, I hate that word, but whatever. Because then you only extend it to them. Problematic. It's kind of the idea of that thought experiment. Would you kill 50 people on a train track, or do you kill 5 people on a train track? That kind of thing.
Right.
Every day.
So yeah, yes, kill them all. So the logical answer is to kill 5 people, because that's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, kind of thing. But if you start to get to know those people, then that starts to change it, and then it starts to change your answer. And if it was 50 people versus your partner, I mean, invariably you're going to choose your partner because they're the only one.
We'll never make it any more right.
No, I'll never make it any more right. Yeah.
But it does make it a very difficult choice.
It does make it and most people probably would just choose their partner, and fuck it, that's the dark side of empathy.
Yeah, that is interesting, that idea of empathy.
Food for thought to end on, audience.
Definitely.
Yeah. Overall thoughts, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing more of Scarlet Witch and the Vision. I do hope to see more of Agatha. I do hope to see more of her. And I'm very curious to see how they use Scarlet now in the next Doctor Strange movie and how her powers come into play. And how do they continue maybe breaking her down into a villain, all for love, all for trying to get back her family? It's a very interesting approach, which I would like to see them explore, but I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like the direction. I like the fact that it felt like more of a risk for Marvel, because I just for a decade said that they're so boring, which I still stand by. But
do you watch these movies?
This was a sort of good step. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I like complaining, as you can tell. I'm always hopeful that they're going to be better, but I'm never proven wrong.
Well, this one was.
This one was
been proven wrong.
Good, but better. I have been proven wrong. I had no expectations for it, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. I like the fact that they did go emotional. Wish they'd went a bit more consequential with Wanda's character arc, but it was at least better than the swill we have gotten before. But
like you said earlier, sorry, Joe, like you're saying about you were hoping it would be more consequential. Her volunteering herself to go into jail or some sort of confinement voluntarily, is that more consequential? Like if she voluntarily went in, she could probably voluntarily leave.
Well, yeah, but I know.
Is there ever going to be consequences? Could they ever have done that? Do you have any suggestions?
And it's more that there needs to be logical consequences. People need to change their attitude towards her, because what she did was very, very villainous to anybody else.
At the end of the finale, sure, then the citizens.
Yeah, but Monica Rambeau was like, "Oh, girl, they never know what you sacrifice," and she was like, "It will not change how they feel about me."
Yep, that's how she said it.
And she just sort of like pieced out, and you're like, I think you need to have more internal consequences, and you need to realize what you did was bad, so that you can have more of that growth character arc, or transform the grief into regret or something like that, but it's fine. It's Marvel. It's popcorn entertainment.
It's fine. It's Marvel.
It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine.
Just having visions of Wanda flying away from Westview going, "So long, assholes."
Bye.
Yeah. No consequences.
I think Marvel's next film should be just called "It's Fine."
It's fine.
So overall, liked it. Liked all the tropes and all the parodying of the different sitcom worlds. And really liked Elizabeth Olsen. Very proud of her. And excited to see what's next.
Elizabeth Olsen deserves to be the face of the MCU moving forward.
She was
I know
really
they took it off her and gave it to Captain Marvel. They need to give it back to Elizabeth Olsen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the focus is kind of on Wanda at the minute, so who knows?
Yeah, I hope it stays there. Like, I think she's fantastic.
She was really good.
There's a connection with her from audiences because she's been around for, since Age of Ultron.
And her character is finally been
developed. Brie Larson, Ryan. That's what you're
I just don't like her.
Talking about.
I just don't like
her
face.
Chat with the Quartering about that. You and him.
I don't like your face.
About Brie Larson.
I'll just have my own episode where it's just a rant. I'll be here by myself ranting about Brie Larson. And then after that, I'll be another episode about what I think of Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Shall I take us out?
Take us out.
Take us out on that note, Zara.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Let us know your thoughts on WandaVision and hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.